Show number 2.
Alright, Covenant Cool, glad to see you. Witchy Mitchy here, and if you clicked this, it means you want my take on Likeable NPCs. I get it. You're an introvert unless you're playing D&D, and fuck is it difficult to read what players like and what they don't like without them outright telling you.
It's not my fault I can't interpret your emotional Morse code.
It's an interesting conundrum, to which most YouTubers tell you things like, give them a funny voice, or think about what makes other people likable.
I like boobies. You like boobies. Vicky likes boobies.
I'm autistic, so for the most part, I could give a flying fuck about thinking about what makes other people likable.
Honestly, I wish I cared a little more.
So how do I know how to make likable NPCs?
I am a god.
In short, you can't know. Everyone doesn't like everyone else, that's a given.
You want something, freak?
So if you follow the advice that other YouTubers have given, you're following advice on what functionally will not suit everyone. So why bother doing a video about this, since no one person has all of the answers?
Wow.
The answer is, because I can. And because I have some hacks that will endear characters to your players, regardless of actually liking their personalities. A lot of other people will say, give your NPC a funny voice.
Yeah, but I don't know how to make myself go there. Maybe it might never happen again.
But honestly, this can get exasperating for you and for your players really fast.
My God, pull yourself together!
Don't give your NPC an annoying voice. A suave voice can go a long way, dropping your tone to make things a little sexier, a little more velvety. Think seductress. Think soft dom. Think less and more. Think knowledgeable, confident. Someone who doesn't have to raise their voice and be boisterous because they're just soothing and authoritative. You can by all means give them an accent, but don't make it too hard to understand for your players or annoying in general for you to do, because you'll know and they'll know that you hate doing the voice. And that's a level of tension you just don't need at your table, honey. In terms of voice, soothing can go a lot further than shrill and obnoxious.
Kinda like me. I've learned from my mistakes.
Alora's voice was soothing and calm in Vox Machina, as was Gilmore's. Vowels matter to these people. They can be breathy or practically moaned, but they need to draw out just a little longer than the frantic chatter of a New York phone call or a 1920s radio broadcast.
As long as we're talking long shots, I got a real doozy for you, folks. Today we got a horse that's going off at 70-1, and that's a short price, my friends.
You've got to calm things down regularly, unless this NPC is in outright peril. And quite frankly, they should greet outright peril with a certain debonair sense of humor.
God damn it! Here we go again!
Not necessarily laughing, but not being opposed to making jokes if the opportunity arises while the cause of said peril is doing whatever it is such things do.
Ha, 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 ha.
Nice, calm, round vowels go a long way in terms of talking to your players and their characters. Do you have to flirt? No.
Don't get too ahead of yourself. I'm just having a little fun.
But if it's not a hard line for the people at your table, I do encourage you to make the character do so.
Who's to say? I might need a distraction some evening. These campsites do get cold.
It's a bit endearing if your non-player character is smitten with one or more of your players' party.
I adore you, you know.
Always leave your players satisfied.
I'll have what she's having.
Don't oversell. Don't just give massive magical items or the entire twist of your game away for free, but for the right quest and for your favorite little party. The information or the item or the enchantment could be had for a steep discount, or the right favor. Your charming NPC is easy to make a shopkeeper. By and large, we see Matt Mercer do this in the first 2 campaigns with the flirtatious Gilmore and the disarmingly Midwestern Pumat Soul.
Here, this is how you see me, no? Very big, intimidating. But if you get to know me a little, well, go on.
You are downright jolly.
The character should be mysterious in a non-threatening way, as with Gilmore's entire air, or the true extent of Pumat's power. Powerful, but clearly unwilling to use that power for anything that would go against the party's sensibilities.
This is too much power for one person.
That's why I gave it to you.
Hell, sometimes unwilling to use that power for things that the party would ask, if those things sound like they do unnecessary harm to other people.
As long as this machine is at Wayne Enterprises, I won't be.
Don't try to be heroes. Not today. Okay?
You're looking for a bit of a cinnamon roll when it comes to morality. Your librarian, shopkeeper, patron, what have you, should have their own lived experience that dictates their morals. And their morals should be, more or less, aligned with the party's. Now, if you're rolling with an evil-aligned party, that might get flipped on its ear, and the NPC in question might actually enjoy hurting people as much as, if not more than, your party does.
I just had to kill a lot of people!
But this is far more rare, so what I've given you here is vowels, mystery, and party favoritism. But this is a sticking point. This character has to be an integral part of your campaign, at least during a few key points. Having the best shop in the land is all well and good, but it's for nothing if that shop doesn't hold something the party actively needs. A library full of information with a curator who can find it when the players can't is another helpful way to leave your players satisfied with an experience. Perhaps they network with other libraries and knowledge bases in a way that the players don't have access to. This can be at a university, and they can figure out how to work the university system for your players, or find them the right professor to ask. Think Radar on MASH. He'll get you what you need if you do right by him. He's non-threatening. Hurting him would be like kicking a puppy, and they need his networking skills all the time. Now take Radar, make him sexy.
Just make it as sexy as hell, and watch the money pour in. Sexy, sexy, sexy. Every page sexier than the last.
That's right. Make the poor little innocent radio operator a suave, arrogant bastard who just so happens to have a soft spot for the party's most tragic character. In short, make the NPC have something the party needs, and make getting it from them a goddamn delight.
What do you want more than anything in this world? What's your deepest, darkest desire?
No matter what, your players don't just want to interact with this character, they need to interact with this character. But the whole point is that that's an experience that they're looking forward to.
Chloe, we're going to Disneyland!
Now, one of the most endearing things that you can do, the biggest hack possible, is to make this wheeler, this dealer, this absolute walking piece of human candy have a backstory with reason to despise someone that your characters despise.
I'm suggesting that you leave before I have to get snooty.
Snooty?
Snotty.
Snotty?
Okay, Abe. Let's go.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
They know the other person personally, and they think that person is an asshole, and will say so out loud without fear, even if that person has some power over everyone else. That person in question should be the inverse of this charmer. They should be the dark side, someone the party is forced to associate with and interact with because they're needed. But they hate the party, and the party hates them back. I find it most effective to have this be some sort of snooty assistant who, in point of fact, is irritated with your party's lack of propriety and their mere presence. One of those people who only begrudgingly admits if the party has done well and will badmouth and avoid helping them behind their backs.
Shut up.
Your charmer, at the mere mention of this individual, should scoff and call them something akin to a pompous windbag, brushing them aside and saying something like, "You let me worry about dealing with them, darling. You just do your very best on this quest here, and I'll see you when you return."
If he breaks your heart, I'll nail gun his.
And yeah, ultimately those are my hacks. Vowel-drawn, sexy voices.
I need your mind on the job, not thinking about sexy sex all the time.
Not necessarily silly, but distinctive all the same. Mayhaps flirtation, a small air of non-threatening personal mystery, a feeling of favoritism, rule-bending on behalf of the party, and satisfaction, aka never wanting to leave the players empty-handed.
She's been smothering me with hospitality. I hope to return the favor. In her sleep.
And finally, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Badmouth the party's biggest necessary pain-in-the-ass person to deal with and offer to help them handle them. Quite frankly, my dears, that is all. Stay suave and naughty, little witches.